y'all doing today? This is my second installment of Real People, Real Talk. I was talking about the last time about wanting to, or having a dream and then being afraid to go forward with it, right? Well, be honest with you, because Delia's Delia, and I was like, oh my God, do I really want to do these types of videos and self-talking, negative talking to myself, you know, worrying about whether or not somebody was going to listen to it, not listen to it, and just all this negative self-talk. And then I started realizing, you know, it's more for me than any damn body else. You know, I have a lot to say, you know, and I want to share it. I didn't get this far in life without having some wisdom and some knowledge of things in life. You know what I'm saying? I raised a bunch of children, no money, blase, boom, boom. And, you know, people were like, well, dear, you need to write a book about it, you know. I'm lazy. This point blank period. I'm lazy. I don't want to write. It takes up too much energy. And so I decided, you know what? Real people, real talk, you know. I had to self-motivate myself to get back on here and start really talking about things. And I'm hoping that, you know, in some of these conversations that somebody gets something out of it and can gain something out of it. You know what I'm saying? I was a single parent for a long time. I made a lot of damn mistakes in my life. A lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I had some good things going on, and with self-sabotage some shit, you know what I'm saying? And we do that to ourselves, you know, getting that negative self-talk going and then feeding off the negativity of others and or our thoughts that somebody's going to say something negative, which really doesn't make a difference in your life. You know what I'm saying? If you could take and put down the negative thoughts and comments of somebody else and realize, like I say, motherfucker, you don't pay my light bill, you don't pay my rent, you ain't putting food on my table. What the hell? Why should I care about what you think about me? You know what I'm saying? Only time I should care about anything that somebody has to think about me is if they're providing for me. And then don't mean I have to accept their negative comments because there might be my husband or my parent. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to accept those negative things. I don't have to take them down into my spirit. I could chew that shit out and chew it up and spit it the fuck out. What difference does it make? Excuse my French. I didn't mean to cuss. But anyway, you have to keep on pushing and seeing things. You know, just a point about me. You know, I always wanted to go to college. Wanted to get an education. And remembering all the negative things that were said about me because I had my children at a young age. I had my first kid when I was 16, had the second one when I was 17. They were only 10 months apart. Turned around and had the third kid, and I graduated high school with him. You know what I'm saying? And folks were like, oh, you ain't never gonna get married. You ain't never this and you ain't never gonna do that. Never, never, never. Fuck you. Fuck you. Because there's no never in what I can do. So there's no never in what you can do. You know what I'm saying? So I went on. I joined the Army. 3 kids in the Army I joined. Unfortunately, they all weren't with me. You know what I'm saying? 2 of my children were in Germany with my parents. And my other son, the middle one, was with his paternal parent. So anyway, I joined the service, and I was able to work and support my children. You know what I'm saying? Then That person talking about, you ain't never gonna get married, you ain't never gonna have no husband. Screw you, I done had 4. And that's not to brag. I'm not bragging that I had 4 husbands. Speaks a lot about who I am, who I am. I got this bad attitude. I have an attitude of I don't give a fuck, you know. So God forgive me. Yes, I was wrong. But anyway, so putting that aside, you know, putting those negative thoughts aside, man, I had to look positively. Like, Delia, you can. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You can. You will. Then I turned around later in life, and I had 7 children in the home, and I was a single mama then. And that was after the second husband. I had 2 husbands, but I was single again. You know, I never stayed with a husband very long in the first couple of marriages. But anyway, I turned around and had 7 children in the house. 7. Single mama. Not living off of welfare. You know, not listening to the negative conversations of others are telling me what I can and cannot do, what I can and cannot have. Come on, let's get real. We can have what we want to have when we put God first. Then put nothing but positive energy towards what it is we're seeking. You know what I'm saying? Positivity. You got to be positive, and you got to work with it and walk out on it. Step out on that faith and keep moving. Because I turned around with 7 kids in the house, honey, and graduated with honors. Could have had a 4.0 grade point average if my ass would have took my ass to school all the time. I ain't do that. I'm not going to lie. God has blessed me with a good mind that I could grasp knowledge, take a test and pass it. I just didn't like going into class all the time. I didn't like doing homework all the time. But when I did, hundreds. When I took the exams, hundreds. So I was able to graduate with an associate's degree in health sciences. Okay? Self-talk. Positive self-talk. Keeping it moving. I can't talk about that any more than that, man. I mean, I look over my life, and man, I mean, there have been many times where things look so bad when you're looking at it in the natural, you know what I'm saying? But everything is in the natural is governed by the spirit. We are energy, and energy connects with energy. So you have to put out that positive energy. You know what I'm saying? To be biblical, meditate. God says meditate on my word. Okay, meditation. There's nothing unholy about meditation. You know, or to reach into yourself and reach up for the higher power, that higher being within ourselves, which is connected to the higher power above or within the world. You know what I'm saying? God is not in the sky. You know, everybody says up there. No, it's in the air. It's around us. He's energy. We're energy, and our energies connect. And that's why we can connect with negative energy, because we all have it. It's yin and that yang. You know what I'm saying? It's you can't. There's no positive without negative. You know what I'm saying? And in some ways they talk about the law of attraction, manifesting, but that's all spiritual and that's all biblical too. You know, everything is determined by how we want to perceive it. Our perception becomes our reality. If you perceive something to be a negative and an evil, then guess what? It's your perception, so that becomes your reality. So that negative connotation, the way that somebody words something, becomes negative to you, even though they're pretty much the exact same thing. When you look at them, and when you narrow it down, you know what I'm saying? You know, spiritualism, Christianity, everything is, you know, talking about the spirit of God or a higher power. And what is God? If God is not a higher power. And if God says that we are a part of Him, then what's wrong with when somebody says that we are connected, or we're God's connected to a God, to the higher power? It's no difference. It's just all on how we take it. You know what I'm saying? Society determines what's normal or what's not normal. You know what I'm saying? We could take a bubble and put everybody in a bubble and put out certain things. This is the way everything is supposed to be, and it'll become their norm, and that'll be normal to them. Then somebody who's never been in that bubble comes into that bubble, and they've lived in a different bubble, and they did things differently. So they get in that bubble with the other people, and what's normal to them is normal to the other person. So that person becomes abnormal, right? So we determine those things in society. As a society, we determine what's normal and what's not normal. So there's nothing wrong with you connecting to God in the way you want to connect to God, keeping a positive attitude going. Say mox next to somebody or something that's trying to tell you what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? Talk to yourself and say, I can do this, I can do that. If I'd have listened to everybody, I'd have never gotten as far as I have in life. If I'd have listened to the negative shit they were saying about me. And still to this day, people want to talk negative and, oh, she cussed, she that. She can't be a Christian. What the fuck? Excuse me. Cursing or not cursing does not make me not a Christian. You know what I'm saying? How I conduct myself is what makes me a Christian or non-Christian, or whatever. I believe in God. I believe in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Do I believe everything the same way everybody else did? No. Does that make me wrong? Them right? I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say? If the way I live, my cursing, and every now and again the girl drinks, you know what I'm saying?
Mile. Turn right.
Yeah, my thing's talking to me. Then I wouldn't have come this far. You know what I'm saying? If I was not a chosen of God, or God did not look down upon me favorably, would I have been able to have 8 children? And God rest my daughter. I used to love being able to say 8 living babies. But my baby didn't die by nobody's hand. She died of natural causes. It wasn't because she was out here living a life of craziness. You know what I'm saying? And drugs and caught up in drug addiction and all the things that people say are negative. She passed away, unfortunately. It was of natural causes. So, do I believe that, God looks favorably upon me? Yeah. Why wouldn't I? It's not about not cursing or cursing. You know what I'm saying? It's about doing right by others. And always keeping a positive energy, and everything you do with love. My kids, when they were little, and I'm just all over the place right now, but what the hell? It's all about being positive. My kids used to be like, we'd be out somewhere. I ain't never have a whole lot when I was raising them, but enough. God always provided enough. That energy was out there. I was putting off them vibes, like, what I'm saying? I need food, I need this, I need that, I need a job, I need the weather to be this, I need that for me and my kids, God. That's what I need now. You said you give me desire of my heart, but you know what? Your heart has to be in the right place too. So anyway, I would feed people, take them into restaurants with me and feed them food. And my kids be like, Mom, why are you doing that? Because somebody's always making sure I have food. People are always there for me, so I got to keep putting off positive energy, high vibrations, manifestations, and it's all to the glory of God. Or how others, it doesn't matter. It's a spiritual thing, and we're spiritually connected. And we got to have a high positive attitude and always put away negative. And is it easy? No, it ain't easy, because I had to self-talk myself into number 2 of Real People, Real Talk. You know what I'm saying? I did some shit in my life. And those will be talked about in some videos to come. Whew. Yeah. I wasn't always good. Well, I can't say I wasn't always good. I just didn't always do some nice things. And when you don't do nice things, that negativity breeds negativity. So that'll be another video. Oh, I wasn't good. I wasn't a good girl. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna stop talking about that one. But try to stay positive. Try to keep positivity around you. Positive people, positive images, positive sayings. Uplift yourself, encourage yourself. I had to encourage myself to, like I said, to do installment number 2 for this. Real People, Real Talk. And if anybody does want to comment, so I can, on my next video, respond to you, about what I was saying about, my life and, the things that I went through. If it wasn't for me always keeping a positive attitude, I don't think, things would have worked out for me as well as they have. Like, one more thing, and then I'm going to end this right here. I was living in Orange Mound in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay? Oh, God. We was busted, you know what I'm saying? I had just gotten here. We were living at one point in a 1-bedroom rat shack apartment. Shitty rat-infested, roach-infested apartment. Lord God. The guy sent me a cat for that one and some good roach spray and protectant. So anyway, we moved into Orange Mound after that. And I was not working yet, looking for a job, and praying like, Lord, I need a job close to home. You know what I'm saying? Something so I get close to and from where my kids are. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it was close to Thanksgiving, and I didn't have any food left over because 7 kids, food stamps, she didn't go far. 7 kids and all them damn boys. Shit. And then I have that daughters that could eat too. My babies could eat. All of them could eat. So it was like close to Thanksgiving, and I ain't had no money, like I said, but I kept having this positive attitude, like, you know what? Ain't nothing in the cabinets. I ain't had nothing in the cabinets. I don't even think I had a can of anything. Looked in the refrigerator, I think I had some butter and a little milk. And that was about all. That was it. And that was it. So I said, you know what, God? I ain't got no food. I said, I ain't gonna worry about it. I said, so I'm gonna give. And I laid my ass right on down on that couch and just laid there, watching TV, flicking the channels. Kids was outside playing. They was having a good time. You know what I'm saying? They didn't worry because Mama didn't show no worry. Mama didn't worry around them like that. I wasn't gonna stress in front of my kids. If there was some stress to be had, it wasn't gonna be had in front of them. So I just lay down. So anyway, next thing I know, there was a knock on my door. Toot, 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 toot. I get up, answer the door, and there was this lady, and she had a food box, and she said, I hope you don't mind. We seen the kids out there, and we were giving away, extra food baskets for Thanksgiving. And I did me a shout, honey. Yeah, I did it. Hey, God. Yeah, look at you, God. Yeah. Chick was like, what's wrong? What? I said, honey, I have 0 food. I said, I didn't know how I was going to get it. I said, lay down on this couch, and I said, I ain't going to worry about it, God. I know that what I was putting out there in the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, them energies, that's how we connected. We are spiritually connected. God will feel what we feel, and he takes those things and he puts it out there, and he touches somebody else with your vibe, that energy, that thing that's coming off of you. You feel me? So anyway, that vibe, the energy that was coming off of me, turned around and hit them. And turned around when I was like telling them, how God had just blessed me. They turned around and said, well, let me go ahead and give you this extra box of food we had. You understand what I'm saying? And shit, we ate. Then a couple days later, the food stamps come. And I'm be honest, I didn't know nobody in Memphis at the time, really. Just by chance or happenstance, and maybe I should have said this on here, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was getting food stamps, and I was feeding my kids, but you got to remember, I wasn't working. And so, I still had bills to pay. I did have a small child support check, and I was on Section 8. But when you have 7 children in the house, that little bit of money, the light bill, bills, all that stuff for them, it wasn't going to go far. So anyway, I didn't know nobody. Just by chance, I happened upon this lady. And she became my lady that every month I got $130. It was $100 for 130. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard that? 50 for 65? 50 for 65, 50 for 65. So I would get my 100 for 130. I didn't care, shit. I lost $30 in stamps, but $100 towards stuff my children needed. You know, school supplies, clothing, toilet tissue, all the other essentials they need. So, yeah, that's why sometimes the food stamps didn't last, the full month. But I had other expenditures, other things that food stamps would not buy. They don't give you food stamps to buy toilet tissue, you know what I'm saying? And laundry detergent and stuff like that you need. And I didn't have a wash machine in drop, so I had to go to the laundromat. I had to put gas in my car. Food stamps don't pay for stuff like that, so unfortunately you have to do what you have to do. So, but anyway, it was a blessing when I didn't know this lady, and she approached me, and I was blessed that she wasn't no undercover fed or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But she was really trying to help me out and look out for me and my kids. So that's what I'm saying about putting out positive vibes in the atmosphere. Not worrying about what it is you need or want. Just send that stuff out there. Let God know what you want. Put it out there. Send them positive, that positive energy out into the atmosphere. And because we are all connected spiritually, even those who don't want to be connected, you know what I'm saying, that don't believe that there is a higher power, they're connected to us because it's a spiritual thing, and everything is energy. That's why when the body dies, the spirit lives on. You know what I'm saying? And they say, oh, well, depending on where you live on at, heaven or hell. But anyway, that's for another time too. Just keep on thinking positive. Put out positive vibes. Positive. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm putting out positive energy. Positive energy. I want to hear from you guys. I want to answer any questions about Delia. How did you do it? What things happened in your life to help you? What things did you stumble on? You know what I'm saying? What is it, or what knowledge or wisdom and knowledge that can you pass on to me, a person who is a single mother of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids? I love talk to young people and people in general about that. You know what I'm saying? When I worked at Sitel, I did it all the time. Love them women that I worked with at Sitel. So anyway, y'all keep it going. Keep positive energy going. I love you guys. And hopefully, I'll hear from you. If not, I'm going to still come on here and talk and say what I got to say. And hopefully when I do say what I got to say, something I say about me, what helped me in my life, can help you. And that's all this is about. You know what I'm saying? Each one, reach one, teach one. How's that go? Each one, teach one. Each one, reach one, teach one. Something like that. So anyway, again, I hope to hear from y'all. Have a good one.